Halloween. If you were celebrating Halloween, let's get rolling with some challenges. There's already 50 plus here. Let's get accepting. Remember, this is 3+0. You can challenge me to casual or rated. It does not matter. I will take either. I will put my rating on the line if you guys want. So, Nbach, good luck. All right, French defense. Let's play the mainline d4. Hello, Dr. Spod. Hello, K. Buck B. G6. All right, I usually like to get multiple pawns out here if my opponent does that. All right, I look forward to many of you challenging me today. Let's play Bishop G5. So Black's choosing an unorthodox way of developing here. I'm going to see if I can stick to the script of trying to attack and looking to play H5, Bishop H6. All the good usual moves, right? Let's play Bishop H6 right away. This is pretty brute force, but I'm thinking, how's White going to defend against this? How's Black going to defend against it, I should say. Black is ignoring what I'm doing here, so let's take... Yeah, Black's playing more or less kind of a systematic hippo type thing, but now they're going to have to run. They're going to have to play King F7. Ooh, yeah, King F7 was mandatory there, trying to hide on E8, but it wasn't looking too hot. The pawn was dropping with check. So thank you, Nbach, for the game. I think that's a good warning. Can't just close your eyes and play the same system and not adjust to what your opponent's doing, because they might do stuff like this. So, I think Nbach, you should probably play, when I go Bishop G5, something like H6, kick the bishop away. And especially when I'm loading up like this, you got to figure out what your defensive strategy is going to be, whether it's to play H5, whether you might even want to play F6. Probably use your pawns to block me. Hello, Op. Good to see you. So thanks for the game, Nbach. Diecast Illusion is next. How's my capture looking? Pretty good, I think. You guys can see the clock all right? There we go. Hello to everyone on YouTube as well. You can absolutely challenge me, Kai. Just can't challenge me to 10+0. That's too long. I'm only accepting 3+0 challenges at the moment. As with every Lichess plays, by the way. Good morning, Diffuser. Oh, yeah, you liked that one the other day, Diffuser? I've been playing some bullet arenas on Lichess, my past few streams on my personal channel, which is twitch.tv/John Bartholomew, just my full name. And yeah, there's been some doozies of a game recently. Multiple games featuring unusual motifs like double king walks. Hello, Dudiaif. Hello, Jams. Greetings, 101 Muhammad. I like to play this way against this line where you trade on F3, give White the doubled pawns. The engine doesn't seem to greatly like this for Black, but I think on a practical level, a human level, Black does pretty well here. I've had some good success. Your pick, Ali Reza, won the Grand Swiss. Yeah, congratulations to Ali Reza Farouja. He's what, number 3 in the world now by rating? I don't know how it changed based on his last few rounds, especially losing to Fabiano. But he's number 3 or number 4 in the world on the live list. Congratulations to him for winning the Grand Swiss Open. Congratulations to Tingji Li, by the way, for winning the Women's Grand Swiss. Dominating performance by her. Wow. She just made it look easy. Congratulations to Elizabeth Pates for becoming a Grandmaster. I think she made her final norm. I didn't see who else might have made norms. I think in the Open, there was only one non-Grandmaster. So no norms were produced there. In the Women's Grand Swiss, there might have been another one or two. He's number 5 on the live range. Okay, so he didn't crack top 4 or get up to as much as number 3, but still. Impressive. All right, I'm going to try a little trap here. I'm going to go Queen B6, and Diecast might think, I've got that well protected. I've got my knight and my bishop on it. That is true. However, I'm threatening C4. Do not tell Diecast. Yeah, Fabiano did come second. That's right. So they get those coveted candidate spots. Although, by rating, they were probably going to qualify anyways. Especially Fabiano. He's 1 point behind Nepo. Wow. Okay, can I go c4? I think I can. Is there any trap I need to be aware of? I'm going to chance it. I think this is going to work out. If a5, I'm going to pull the queen back here, and I'm going after this bishop, targeting this bishop. Hello, Humba 2007 on YouTube. You just need to send a challenge to Fins. That's my username, Fins. And it doesn't guarantee that you'll get a game because I'm accepting challenges at random. There's a pool of players, but everyone has an equal chance. So, hey, if you got to do something, maybe you're going to be on off the computer, doing housework, whatever you're doing on a Sunday, I'd still recommend sending that challenge because if you hear the little boom, the little indication that your challenge has been accepted, you can always rush back to the computer and I'll probably even remind you. Oh, there's no rating qualifier in the next candidate. Seriously? Okay, so that makes it far more meaningful, even when one of these top guys wins a tournament like the Grand Swiss. Is that true? There's really no rating qualifier. That's pretty unusual. I'm going to do this. If takes here, I'm going to take on d4. Now, white could chase my queen a little bit. I was thinking maybe rook a1, but I think my queen was going to escape. That means you can qualify. Right. Yeah, I just got to get an invite to one of these top-level events. I wonder what the qualification was like for the Grand Swiss. Who was able to play? I'm pretty sure it was a very exclusive event for pretty much grandmasters. However, I did notice there was an IM from Madagascar in the field in the Open. And in the women's section, there were title players of all different titles and even non-title players. But I think in the Open, that was pretty exclusive. I think you pretty much had to be a grandmaster and probably a very strong grandmaster at that. Yeah, thank you, Diecast Illusion. So I just played this queen b6 move, which kind of set you this trap. I think you should probably take here on c5. I know you might not want to give up that central pawn, but that does reduce the types of threats that I'm looking to play here. So yeah, I think d takes c5 right at this moment. Thanks for the game. Otherwise, your setup was looking all right. A lot of times they fianchetto this light square bishop. Okay, who do we got next? Bora Ali, 1977. Let's do this. Now, I can't relax in these games. I do have a tendency to talk too much and relax, let my guard down. Let's play e4, e5. And sometimes it costs me because I don't know if I mentally think there's increment or something, but I look at my clock and I have like 10 seconds. And my opponent has a minute. That has happened more times than I'd care to admit. Hello, B Buck B. All right, we got the Buckby clan in here. Nice. Yeah, Mega Block. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I can leave that pumpkin out a little bit longer. This move does not work. This loses a pawn for white. White tried to get d4 in when they didn't have enough defenders. Diffuser says, it's totally safe to let your guard down, even just for a minute. Right, that's what you want. I actually read your comment as it's totally safe to let your gourd down, and I thought you were making a comment about the pumpkin and me leaving it out too long, or maybe that pumpkin right there, which is, it's accumulating some spots on it. It's not, you guys want to see it? It's not too healthy of a pumpkin at the moment. It's looking a little under the weather, so I don't know what I'm going to do about this. I might have to put it outside. We'll see. Oh, I have a checkmate. I came back with a mate. Yeah, so Bora Ali, you got to be careful about d4. Yeah, and in general, I don't think you should be going bishop g5 and early bishop takes f6 in this line. If anything, you got to play bishop h4. But yeah, you might want to look into how to play like the Italian game, or you played this Ponziani. Is that what this line is called? Ponziani, or is it like, I can never remember if white has played knight f3 if it matters. Yeah, it's still listed as Ponziani. Yeah, so Ponziani opening, but can't expect to get d4 in when you've already played d3, and you don't especially have enough defenders on the d4 square. Rather harsh comments by Jack Sparrow here. All right. So thanks for the game, Bora Ali. Thanks for challenging and tuning in. Oh, look who we have here. Looking to improve on his 0-8 record. Good luck, K. Buckby. I know you're sending in B. Buckby if you happen to lose this game, but not saying that'll happen, but oh, Wing Gambit. All right. Let's see. Semi-rigged, huh? Yep. All right, we're going to play principled chess here. And let's go E4. Let's advance. This could get wild. I don't know what K. Buckby knows about this opening, because I'm pretty much out of book right around here. Yeah, I know. He's got the algorithm down. That's right. The chat is rooting for you, K. Buckby. They are absolutely rooting for you. Oh, there's an I Buckby as well. Oh, my. How many Buckbys are there? We have K. Buckby. We have B. Buckby. We have I Buckby. Playing the entire family here. Take. So if knight takes, can I just take here? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Please show the challenge list. Well, even if I showed it, it wouldn't matter much because there's over 50 challenges. And remember, it's a pool. It's not like a sequential, it's not a queue. So you have just as much of a chance now if you were to enter as if you were to enter, 15 minutes ago when the stream started. How many Buckbys can a Buckby buck if a Buckby beats John B? I like that. Nice one, Strange Quirk. Yes, there's a lot of people, especially on YouTube, who are saying, like, please accept my challenge. Like, how do I challenge you? We might need the exclamation point challenge, but in YouTube form. Okay, little threat here. You know what, though? I'm going to see if I can trap K. Buckby. Don't tell him what's going to happen here. At least what I think might happen. Go ahead. Make my day. I was going to play bishop takes f2. Should I try to force it? It doesn't quite work anymore, though. Because now king f1 is a thing. So I might have to cover this square. But yeah, I was thinking about this and then take queen c5, but king f1 is now a potential issue. So what am I going to do? Am I going to play queen d7 or knight a6? You know what? There's also like this potential thing. I'm going to play a weird looking move here. But I think it's all right. Knight e8. Mainly just making sure the bishop can't take. I was pointing to this, but I don't think that's really relevant. I'm trying to control this and thereby threaten a6. Knight on the rim, you're going to win. Yes, indeed. All right, let's just develop now. K. Buckby's making a square for the knight to retreat. Fair. That is fair. Still develop. Hello, CYQ Simon. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. What's up, lawyer? It's going well. How are you? Okay, bishop c4, now a possibility. Let's just park the queen over here, shall we? Get her out of the way. What am I working with here? I'm up a pawn still. Pretty good position. Maybe rook coming to the center. I want to get this knight off the back rank. White's got a bit of a log jam as far as development goes. F1 rook is looking pretty snug. Yeah, a little bit defensive, though. Let's go here. Probably K. Buckby's looking to maneuver. All right. Oh, F8. Yeah, F8 rook as well. He's all tucked in here. Okay, so if takes, I think he wants to go here. I'm strongly considering doing this. That would be kind of interesting, right? Let's mix it up a little bit. Let's try to get the momentum going with these pawns. Hey, Pierce, thank you for subbing to the Lichess channel with your Twitch Prime. Yeah, just as a reminder, if you have Amazon Prime, you can sub to any channel completely for free. It's included in your Amazon Prime membership. So it's just a nice little perk. I got to sidestep rook takes c6 now. And you can support a streamer or, in this case, an entire website, Lichess. And it costs you absolutely nothing. So thanks to anyone who decides to do that. So thank you, Pierce. Let's go here. All right, we're getting low on the clock. This is looking very good still, though, I must say. Let's advance. Okay, we're going to take. Going to retreat. Now, K Buckby's a good bullet player. Bear that in mind. The Buckby clan doesn't play around, and K Buckby, yeah, strong bullet player. I'm actually under a little bit of pressure here. Oh, that was a rook, but okay. I'm going for the merciless flag. And I got it. K Buckby came back, though, at the end, but time was too much. Next game, K Buckby, will be important whenever we play next. That will be the adoption game. Potential adoption game. So, yeah, beware. Yeah, GG. 10 times the charm. That's right. I think all this is theory. E5. What do they play here as black most often? Is it E5? Yeah. Okay, so my knowledge of the wing gambit theory pretty much ends right around here. You can see black scores pretty well. Looks like white usually plays C4 at this moment. Interesting. So there's a famous trap in this line, right? I've shown this on stream before, but black can follow this advice I've often given on my channel of when you're facing a gambit, take the first pawn, but don't necessarily leap at taking the next pawn, the second pawn. Maybe consider declining the second pawn. So I don't take the second pawn here. Instead, I play a counterattack in the center. And after the trade, note that black is threatening queen e5 check with the fork on the king and the rook. And that's why white can't just gain their pawn back easily with no repercussions. In fact, I believe there is a famous game that went like that, takes, and then white resigned. It's not showing up in the Masters database, but always remember that. Okay. Wow. Look at our average centipawn loss here, K Buckby. We did not produce some very good numbers in this game. 118 for you, and I only did marginally better at 109. Pretty much anything over 100 is pretty tactically sketchy. But, I think the time scramble at the end had a lot to do with that. A lot of red moves showing up here. Too funny. Okay, let's get another game in. Thanks, K Buckby. Okay, Batman, 2250. Good luck. Yeah, speaking of Superman, I actually posted on Twitter to, try to drive further interest to this Lichess Play stream. I posted a pic of me as a kid wearing a Superman shirt, and I'm driving a tricycle. So you can check out my Twitter if you're interested in that. Okay. Do I care much about bishop h6? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to go ahead and push. This is one of the main ideas of this setup if black goes for this. I don't play a whole lot of King's Indian, but I would actually like to learn this opening a little more. I need to watch more Daniel Naroditsky streams. Any of you guys King's Indian players who watch Danya? I think he'd be one of the top guys to pay attention to in this variation. Let's go ahead and play b4. Where does your blonde hair go? Yeah, in that picture, I have really, really blonde hair. I was just a blonde-haired kid. My hair was almost white when I was a kid. And it stayed blonde for a while, but, you get older. This is my natural hair color. I've just become a brunette over the years. as I'm sure many of you can relate. Hair changing color. Same thing with you, Handles. Michael says I just lose hair. Hey, SD Iverson, thank you for being a first-time chatter. Yeah, Danya is an amazing King's Indian player. He really is. High-level stuff whenever he plays. Let's go C5. Let's prop up the knight, invite some trades. I'm kind of fracturing my pawns if white takes, but I like the activity I get here. Okay, white says no. All right, maybe I go here. I'm thinking knight d3 could be a threat. Hello, Drazinho. What's up? Wow, Swathapal. Yeah. People checking in with similar hair stories. Sir, what is your FIDE rating? My FIDE rating, I believe, is 2446. And I have not played a FIDE rated tournament in a little over 2 years. I got to get back to it. That's why it's cool to see someone like Elizabeth Pates. I think she's 36 years old. She just made her final Grandmaster norm. So, that's always inspiring to see something like that. Let's do this. Rook c2. No rook c2. Attacking my bishop, but I thought I could take here against that. Is white really telling me that this doesn't work? Because I don't fully buy it. Okay, now I've got some fun stuff. I mean, I can play knight g4. I can take on f2. That was my original intention here. There's a little bit of shakiness going on, to be fair. But again, I don't fully buy this. I mean, this traps the queen, right? This is covered. Are there any complications? I don't see any. Maybe knight d5? Nah, I just don't buy it. I am not buying what white is selling here. So let's go ahead and attempt to call the bluff. Flotikash, thank you for subbing. 6 months. Very kind of you. How many subs do we have here on the Lichess channel? Let's see. 47. All right. Cool. That makes you the highest rated IM on Twitch, doesn't it? No, I don't think so. No. Min Lee, for instance, he's probably the highest rated IM who regularly streams on Twitch. I believe he's over 2,500 FIDE. All right, thank you. All right, now take on d4. Maybe knight b4. I'm going to go knight b4. I'm going to save the knight, retreat, and attack this. Got to watch the time a little bit, but this position should be a pretty straightforward win. Over 2,500 as a GM. Well, you have to reach 2,500 FIDE to become a Grandmaster. That is true. However, crossing the 2,500 threshold doesn't automatically mean you will be a Grandmaster because you still need norms. You still need 3 Grandmaster norms. All right, all right. Should I get rid of that bishop? I think I'm just going to take here, honestly. I'm going to liquidate. We're going to swap down. Attack this, the pawn behind it. It's getting increasingly awkward for white. Rook d1's probably the only decent move here. And now, you know what? Let's just play this because I want to keep that knight out. Oh, I blundered this. I was like, I want to keep the knight out of d5, but fortunately my opponent missed that they could fork. All right, let's go. Let's go check. If rook takes d6, I play rook takes e2. Yeah, that was a blunder. Fortunately, I would have been ahead in material even after that, but not the type of technique that you want, right? Okay, Batman, Bin, Superman, thanks for the game. Yeah, I think this position was probably still about equal. Maybe you got to go bishop f1 or something here. That's my read on it. Yeah, equal. Doesn't say necessarily bishop f1's the best move, but a few different moves here. But I felt like allowing knight d3, but especially allowing rook takes b2. If you go rook c2, I was actually thinking about just repeating once and then reassessing. But yes, this must be overwhelming. That queen just gets trapped. Esgago asked, why did rook b5 not work when there was a rook on d1 and a rook on d5? Rook on d1, rook on d5. You mean here and here? Knight. Why did rook b5 not work? Oh, I think you mean rook b4. Yeah, I could try something like that too. I was just a little hesitant to give up the d5 square, but I could have played rook b4, knight d5, rook takes, or queen takes. That would be okay too, but yeah, actually that's a significant blunder. E6. Allowing knight a4, that would have made things a lot more complicated if time was not a concern. Thank you for the game, Batman. Let's go to the next game here. Okay, Raisin Bran Crunch. Interesting username. Pretty good cereal, I gotta say. Do you guys like Raisin Bran? I'm not really a cereal eater anymore, but that one is pretty solid. I think the Crunch version I have had a few times. Pretty high sugar, but, you know, as far as like texture and taste, right up there. I agree, Diffuser. Diffuser said, Raisin Bran, underappreciated despite being a classic. I concur. You know, I would say like a great breakfast cereal just for consistency, like high quality consistency of taste and just staying power. It's just been around for so long now. Is Honey Nut Cheerios. I think Honey Nut Cheerios is pretty hard to beat as like a staple, high quality breakfast cereal. What do you guys think? Again, I have to put the caveat that I don't really eat breakfast cereal anymore. But yeah, had a lot of that as a kid, that's for sure. Hey, Axiom Fox. I think if you eat mini wheats, you must see a psychiatrist immediately. Oh, you don't like mini wheats? Frosted mini wheats? What do I eat for breakfast? I either skip breakfast and just have coffee, or I often will have a bagel. Also, like not the best thing necessarily, but I tend not to eat heavy in the morning. Breakfast is the one meal I'm more prone to go light on, or perhaps even skip entirely. Bagels are so good, absolute carb bomb. But you know, like a everything bagel, oh, amazing. Okay, queen g3. Now, I need some counterplay. Don't worry about this type of setup as black a lot of times, though. It looks like white will have some initiative, but black can generally handle what white's going to try to throw at black. Let's just play a useful move here and see what Raisin Bran does. I wonder if Raisin Bran will go e5. I'm just going to try to play a move that helps me out later. Gets the rook on a file that's useful. What's in the bagel? Well, I often just will have it with butter, but of course you can do cream cheese. I mean, I can't really beat a bagel with cream cheese if it's a good fresh bagel. I think as far as cream cheese go, honey walnut is a pretty solid variety. If I had to choose like a type of cream cheese, and there's tons of different types, that's one I like. Bagel, yeah. I've been told that, yeah, that's a Midwest US thing. Maybe even specifically my state. I've been told that by multiple people, that the way we say bagel around here is weird or unusual. I'm going to go here. I'm going to try to angle for the C4 square. Are bagels more of an American breakfast? Maybe like a fast American meal, yeah. Probably more so on the East Coast. There's, more of a bagel culture out there, let's say. When I lived in New York, I would definitely take advantage of that. Hit up the bagel spots on the weekends in particular. Yeah, same steakhead. I can't really tell the difference when I'm saying it. People say the same thing about the word milk. Does it sound like bagel, like E instead of an A? That's funny. Yeah, it's got to do with the vowels in the middle of the words with bagel and also milk. Yeah, it does sound more like milk with an E. You guys are observant. All right, again, I know this looks passive, but how is white going to crack this? I've got solid defenses here. A lot of times you need to keep the d5 square nicely guarded too. So I'm making sure that I have plenty of defenders there. And as far as I can tell, white's going to have to retreat. Unless white comes up with something really spirited like take, f6, knight f5. I go king h8 at that point. This happens a lot in the Sicilian. You kind of duck and cover for a few moves, and then you hope that your opponent's initiative is going to fizzle out, and then you take over the initiative. Yeah, and that's psychologically like a tough move to play because you want to go forward, but there doesn't seem to be much. No one's home. Oh, interesting, Zorak. White is throwing the kitchen sink at me now. Do I play the Dream Crusher move? I think I do. Let's play the Dream Crusher, bishop f6, just stopping f6 from white. Drew on YouTube says, LOL, milk. Okay, bishop g5. Probably just take it. Can also ignore it. I think knight takes b2 is pretty good too. I think I will do that. Take. This is all solid. I've got this defended nicely. Let's just take down here. Maybe there's rook f2 here. Rook e2. That was actually probably a blunder on my part. Now what do I do? I think I got to go here now. So if rook takes, I take here and then take the bishop. But yeah, that was probably a bit of a mistake on my part. Still trying to play this accurate, even though time is the bigger concern at this point. It's just good to strive for accuracy. Oh, this is a 3+2 game. I totally missed that. All right, well, let's make sure we win it on the board then. I completely overlooked that fact. In that case, good thing I'm going for an accurate conclusion to this game. Okay, thank you, Raisin Brand. Yeah, do remember just to challenge 3+0 in the future. Let's take a look. Do you guys think white had anything? Again, I know these positions look a little scary, but roundabout here, even after 98, I think it's telling that the engine agrees that black is solid and much, much better, actually. So if you can control the pawn breaks and you can prevent, especially like knight jumps to the 5th rank, the engine's actually suggesting that white should sacrifice a pawn here. f6, bishop takes, and knight f5 to put further pressure here and just improve the prospects for the knight. But even after king h8, I would now be threatening the bishop. I've got enough defenders here. Even here, white has to retreat a little bit. So, yeah, these situations are a little tricky. I think in general, white does better to try to get the g4 pawn involved, or the g pawn going up to g4, trying to advance to g5. But yeah, these can produce complicated positions. It seems like f5 is a bit of a mistake, though, because it allows e5. Thanks for the game, Raisin Brand. Here we go. Shout out to the mods, by the way. I always want to give the Lichess mods a shout out. No joke, if you're there. Numeroid usually shows up in these streams as well. Mobashi is next. Drew actually agrees. Says coffee and an everything bagel is the best breakfast if I have breakfast. Okay. Mobashi, are you there? I'm talking to you, Mobashi. All right. We got to move on. We got to keep it rolling. You can always challenge again if you were AFK. Okay, Alba, good luck. Another B3. A lot of B3 adherence here. I'll play something different this time. We'll do a counter Fianchetto. Okay, white takes. Yeah. A lot of times they play this line where they try to go D4 or, yeah, they might try to keep pawns on dark squares as well. I could try to do the same thing. That would be kind of funny, but I'm going to keep my dark square bishop. I kind of like it. Jim's Chess, thank you for the raid. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you, Jim's Chess. We're just hanging out here playing some 3-minute against viewers. This will go for the next hour and a half. So thank you for the raid once again. Hope you had a good stream. Who's the famous GM for B3? Well, I know it's who is it? I think it's Adiban, Grandmaster Adiban from India. He is the B3 cowboy. And there's a hashtag on Twitter, B3 cowboy. They have a lot of support. And yeah, Badur Jobava, big time B3 player. Jobava was playing B3 at a very high level, maybe like 10 years ago. I remember looking at some of his games with B3. He was playing it real consistently across all time controls. Classical, blitz, rapid, didn't matter. He was playing B3. Let's go here. Richard Rapport, yep. Yeah, exactly. Ben Larson being the OG B3 player, correct. Yeah. That's why they call it the Nimzo Larson. Scandies, please. Well, don't have to ask me twice. I'll make sure I do that. All right. What now? Maybe C6. Feel like I'm kind of stranding my knight out here, but it should be okay. These bishops are lying in wait. The bishops are not good at the moment, mainly because of how white has set up their pawns. I think this is like a dynamically balanced position. I'm not sure who's better here. It might just be equal. Have I heard of the Dirty Harry Sicilian? Yes, I have. Yeah. I briefly looked at Christoph Selecki's course that he wrote on it for Chessable. All right, I don't see a whole lot here, so I'm going to take and then play Rook B8. Just ask white what they're going to do about this file. If we get a trade, maybe long term, I'll try to invade to B4 or B2 and pressure the pawn on C4. Thoughts on the Stafford Gambit? Eric Rosen got me into it. Decent Gambit. Probably overplayed right now. But, certainly a very tricky Gambit to the uninitiated. I wouldn't rely on it as a main weapon, though, for black. All right, so things are opening up here a little bit. Bishop E8, maybe? It seems passive, but I'm going to do it. Now, queen takes A6, I think I can take here. And I simultaneously defend the knight. So let's see what Alba has in store. This is a good balanced game so far. Alba's playing well. Queen B5 now, perhaps. Maybe this. Yeah, I'm going to try to switch targets a little bit. I'm going to try to go after this. So if knight B6, I can take that. Seems weird to give up this sweeping diagonal, but I'm going to try to put some pressure. And now against that, I think I will go here. Making sure to be careful, though. This is a position where I feel like someone may blunder a tactic. Oh, nice Trazinho, yeah. Yeah, I do decline the Stafford Gambit a lot of times. I try not to get into a memory contest. Yeah, you can always play just knight C3 on move 3. Ooh, Do I have this move? Speaking of blundering tactics, I think I do. We're going to switch back here, and now the knight is in the line of fire. Thank you, Arnabo. I'm thinking about shaving it. I've had this beard for like four years. I've never grown it super long, but yeah, I've been liking it. I went on a trip to Las Vegas. It was a bachelor party, and I forgot my razor at home, and I just decided to grow it out, and then I just didn't shave after that, and decided to run with it. That was back in 2016, so I probably had it for 5 years now. Thanks, honey syrup. Let's take. This feels a little shaky. Like maybe knight d3 is just a good move here. Yeah, knight d3. My opponent found it. Now I have to give up one of the pieces back. I think I'll still probably be somewhat better, but clearly not what I wanted. I think I'll try to take this one down here. Oh, I didn't take it though. They could have captured on b2. And then knight or king back. Okay, I think White was panicking a little bit because of the time. Just move the king back and forth. But yeah, that was interesting. I ran into some coordination difficulties right around here. It's still like kind of awkward even after winning the piece. Just kind of curious. No way is White better here. Are you serious? I just won an entire piece. And White is better here. And it's not even... Yeah, like I played king f8. That's one of the top moves. The engine wants White to go check. I was wondering about this here. And then queen e7. I guess even queen d8 is okay, like repeating. That's how bad this bishop is. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it did seem a little awkward for me with the bishop there, but I never would have thought that White was actually better in that position. So it seems Alba was outplaying me. I might have to rethink my strategy. Maybe the bishops are just too passive here. So thank you for the game, Alba. Interesting one. Yeah, you were +2 right around here. But I got to admit, that's type of position where it's easy for a human to underappreciate White's advantage, probably, especially after White loses the material. Thanks for the game. Hello, Zachary on YouTube. Okay, Coco Zamandias. Let's play d4. Oh, good game, Laco. Should I play something different here? Let's play the pseudo Trumpowski. Oh, the pre-move didn't work. What a shame. Magnus played this in the first round of the first game of the 2016 World Championship match against Karyakin, which ended in a draw. Kind of want to navigate the knight here, but I also want to play c4. Let's just play g3. I think I'm going to play it kind of like Alba did in the last game. It's a similar type of scenario. There's doubled pawns. Let's see. Am I going to watch the World Championship? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well, I assume you're talking about the chess championship. 100%. All right, let's go c4. I can't resist. Even if I'm playing it as a gambit, I think getting this diagonal open is worth it. Yeah, they call it the pseudo Trumpowski. So the real Trumpowski is d4, knight f6, and then bishop g5. But you can play d4, d5, bishop g5 as well. It doesn't hit the knight, but it is slightly annoying for black because black has a hard time playing e6. Is kind of the idea. I don't play it too often, but it's interesting. It's castle. So just as a reminder, we have people both on YouTube and Twitch asking if I can play with them. You got to challenge and enter the pool of players looking to be paired. I can't go randomly pick challenges. Well, I could, but I'm not going to. But if you enter the pool, you got as good a chance as anyone else to be accepted. And just as a reminder, I play people on my channel a lot too. So good chance if you follow my personal channel that we'll play at some point. Will Nepo challenge Magnus's Sveshnikov? See, I would really doubt if Magnus plays the Sveshnikov in the World Championship. Usually, if they have a weapon like that, even if they play it after the World Championship, as Magnus continued to do after beating Fabiano, the main value of it is in the surprise. So, I would suspect we're going to see a fair amount of E4, E5 with both colors. Maybe a Sicilian or two. But then again, who knows? I mean, the Sveshnikov was a complete surprise last match. So Fabiano, there was a great interview with Fabiano on chess.com recently. And he was talking about how him and his team were basically scrambling. His team was scrambling, especially to try to find something against the Sveshnikov. Or against Knight C6 on move 2 in general. They were playing the Roslimo a lot. Okay, this move's a little bit annoying because I want to take this pawn, but I can't at the moment. So maybe rook e1. I got pawns on dark squares, so I'm restricting my opponent's dark square bishop. That's nice. Strange Quark says, fingers crossed for mostly decisive games. I agree, yeah. I think we'll see some fighting chess. I was thinking about it. So most everyone you ask has the same prediction. It's become a bit of a meme almost, like, yeah, Magnus is a pretty significant favorite, but Nepo has a chance. Like, you could pretty much summarize most everyone's predictions of the match as such. I wonder, has there been anyone, top player or prominent chess personality, who's outright said they predict Nepo will win? Because I don't think I've heard that as of yet. All right, h4. I think I'm going to go here to try to play spoiler. I would expect queen f3 here. I think black's going to try to keep the queens on. Yeah. And now I'm up 2 pawns. Let's go here. Maybe look to play queen g2 in the near future. 97. Nah, let's go queen g2. I'm playing this a little conservative, but it's most important to make sure you don't get mated in a position like this. I'm going to take now. Queen takes, I'm going to go knight d7, I think. Hit this. Double attack down here even. We can take with check, but let's just take this one. Yes, not getting mated is indeed pretty important. Hard to argue with that. I think the rook's coming over to h8. Let's just go here. Advance in the center. Block the bishop. Oh, and I get a fork. Magnus will play Scandinavian. One can only hope, Garwi. Okay, thank you for the game, Coco Zimandias. So losing that pawn on d5 was pretty significant. I think right here after c4, you should probably actually take the pawn. And I was thinking about d5 at that point. That seems to me to be the critical test. Yeah, Engine agrees. D takes c4. Because even if you defend it as you did, this is going to be an isolated pawn for eternity. So I think white has a nice advantage here already. Parker says, no way Magnus plays the Scandi. I don't know. I cannot confirm or deny if I've got any calls from the Magnus team asking me to prep him on the Scandinavian. Okay, let's go. Corinthian man. Scandi and then Stafford? Yeah, just go full YouTube chess meme. Good luck, Corinthian man. Rusty on YouTube says 60-40 Magnus. Yeah, that's even a little generous, I think. Most people I've seen say it's more like 70-30, maybe 60. Yeah, maybe 60-40 at best for Nepo, like a 40% chance. I've been facing this line a fair amount. I think 65-35, if you split the difference, is probably a reasonable percentage. How have I been playing this? I'm going to go C3. Now, if knight takes, there's knight takes. Very important. Yeah. I would watch a documentary on just world championship preparation. It would be cool if they both had crews that followed them around, right? And that kind of happened in the last world championship with St. Louis, which led to an unfortunate intelligence slip. But it would be cool if there was just like two kind of related crews who filmed, and everything was kept secret until after the match. I'm sure this would be too much of a leak for these top guys because they play a lot of chess beyond the world championship. But it would be really, really interesting to watch how they prepare. Yeah, exactly, Michael. Yeah, you guys should watch that interview with Fabiano or read the article. I think it was with Peter Doggers. Really good stuff. Okay, so Black got the pawn back, but Black may have some difficulties completing development. We shall see. Yeah, rated is fine. I don't mind risking the rating. Queen f6, so that seems to invite this move. I could also think about checking. Knight c6, queen c7. That looks pretty devastating as well, but I think bishop d4 straight up wins a piece here. Maybe there's queen h6 against this. Bishop d4, queen h6. Sneaky, sneaky. Wow. All right, I'll play bishop b5. It's possible Black would not have noticed queen h6, but you always got to assume that your opponent's going to play the best move. This looks pretty good too, fortunately. You think so, Garwy? You think he'll stick with the same openings as against Fabi? I don't know. I don't follow like top level opening trends enough to really give a totally educated opinion myself, other than just the broad stuff. Like I think e4, e5. I just think you'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if half the games were e4, e5 because of the reliability of it. And the fact that both those guys play a fair amount of e4. And, the stakes being so high in a world championship, if you draw with Black, that's a good result. And e4, e5, double king pawn, that's one of the best ways to try to achieve that. Please play against Levy Rosman. Well, he's free to challenge me on Lichess Plays here if he wants. I have played him in Arena Kings on chess.com before, but it's been a couple years. We've never played over the board. Okay, let's go here. I really want to go bishop f4, but it's not going to work yet. How can I assure myself of a game? Unfortunately, you cannot assure yourself of a game. You have to take the risk and jump in the pool. There's no Lichess mods whose palms you can grease. Doesn't work that way around here. Everyone has an equal chance. No priority given. All right, Corinthian man, thank you for the game. Let me just show that moment I was mentioning where I do think you're in trouble here. Bishop d4 was my instinct, but I'm kind of curious if the engine thinks bishop b5 is better or worse. Yeah, it actually does rank bishop b5 higher. So I think from your standpoint, right here after, what was it, queen g3, you got to play your knight back. Probably knight c6 or, yeah, maybe knight d7. Something secure like that where you keep your queen close to home and you guard the c7 square. But I'll show you what I was worried about. I mean, normally, if this was a bullet game, I'm sure I would have played bishop d4 without thinking about it. But I wasn't sure after queen h6 because of the sneaky queen c1, queen takes b2. And indeed, all the top moves of the engine here, except for queen takes e5. But the other three moves, knight a3, knight d2, bishop b5, like knight a3, that's just to control c1 and still try to develop and keep pressure. But yeah, I like the move that I came up with, bishop b5. This is a sharp line. So yeah, Corinthian man's probably looked into this a little bit. The Caro, but playing c5 in 2 moves. It's basically a way to try to get an improved version of the French defense, if you want to think about it like that, because white is not advised to do like this. This generally works out pretty well for black. You know, if they take and bishop g4. Looks a lot like a French. Black has similar ways to pressure the center, but they can liberate the bishop. Can I bribe you with bagels? Absolutely not. All right. Thanks for the game, Corinthian man. Past subject is next. I think I vaguely remember that, K Buckby. Good luck, past subject. All right, what line can we play here? Caro. All right, Caro. Let's play my usual line against the Caro if black goes bishop f5. So this time there's no c5. Second Caro game in a row, but no c5. We'll play something aggressive here. I had an insane game in this line recently where my opponent played queen b6. And then I went bishop d3, and then they took on d4. Okay, black seems a little less familiar with this, though. Let me think about this. Because I am tempted to go here. And then e6 or something, but I don't think it's quite working yet. So I think I will pull the bishop back. But watch this g6 square. That will be a focal point for a likely initiative. Never play f6. This is a position where I'm inclined to agree. But we'll see. Do I want to take now? Let's play bishop d3 first. Do I live in any of the Twin Cities in Minnesota? Yes, I do. I live in Minneapolis. Yep, I do have my own Twitch, GGG. I'm streaming on the official Lichess channel today, as I have for the past several months, actually. This is Lichess Plays. But I have my own channel. It's twitch.tv/John Bartholomew, just my full name. All right, this looks a little shaky for black. Maybe black will succeed in keeping this together, but these are tender points. Again, black always has to watch g6. Looks like black maybe is going to bail to the queen side. Let's probe a little bit, though. Let's play rook e1 and say, what are you going to do about this? How bad do you want that pawn? Do you want it bad enough that you're going to play king f7? Are you going to try to sacrifice it with e5? Will you sacrifice by castling? Will you play c5? Yep. That looks like a pretty good move. All right. Takes, I don't really like knight takes, so let's just continue developing here. Develop and defend. Have you ever played a3 in an OTB game? Like just the move a3 in general? Or a line with a3? Because I've certainly played the move a3 in general. Let's see. So I see black's idea. I think black wants to go e5. I'm figuring out what I can do about that. I see some stuff that looks interesting. You know what? Let's sack a piece. I have some ideas. This might get a little wild. We will find out. I'm going to go here. And takes, I think I'm going to play queen takes d5. I Don't think I'm going to take on e7 yet. I'm going to let that simmer for a little bit. Okay, black takes, though. Take on f4 would have been interesting. Black takes, and what now? We're going to see castles. Yeah, I've been streaming a fair amount on my own channel. That's right. Okay, okay. I don't know that I'm any better anymore. I might be worse here, quite honestly. Let's just retreat this. And I'm behind on the clock. Rough. So I think there, if black had played bishop h6 in particular, I would have been kind of struggling to coordinate. But we'll see. This is kind of weak. Black does have to keep an eye on f6. I guess I could see these pawns being kind of fragile. I don't have a lot of great pawn play going myself, though. Need to change that. Which two players would I bet on to win the Grand Prix and join the candidates? Ooh, I don't know. I haven't been keeping track of the cycle very much other than what just happened with the Grand Swiss. Let's go here. Okay, black's collapsing. Black missed the pin going on here. Yeah, easy to miss that, right? The bishop lurking, sniping. Sniping in the nest here. All right, let's take this one. I think this is a good one to take because the knight is under attack. And I wonder if I have this rockin' and rollin' move here, this looks really fun. And I think it's a good move, so I'm going to play it. Because I have the attack here. And if that one, I can actually take this rook with checkmate. Oh, but you know what? Know what I just realized? If here, take. Oh, no. Queen h6 is not working because my king is no longer on c1. I totally saw all that. I saw all the tactical details. Didn't miss that, potentially there's a fork there. No, but it seems to work out. Yeah, rook c7, just take. Could even bring a rook into the game. Rook d1 and threaten mate. Black's pretty passive here. And then go take on h8. Okay. I think I was worse, though. Yeah, the engine confirms. -1.5 here. And it does say what black did is pretty good. e5, knight f5. And then black took. But yeah, critical is to take here. Knight c5, also a good move, evidently. What happens if takes here? So I was going to play queen takes d5 at this point. My thinking is maybe I have some knight d6 stuff. If castles, I can play knight takes e7 and win the piece back. Black can play knight e5, though, best move. And this looks kind of hard to assess. Castles here. Yeah, really complicated stuff. Okay. All right. Thanks for the game. Past subject. Yeah, interesting one. I think you were holding your own out of the opening. Good stuff. Campaign. Good luck. We have a full hour left. So a lot of chances still. Let's play a Dutch. Where are my Dutch players at? London against the Dutch. Okay. Furthering Dutch and English relations. You like the Dutch panic? All right, nice. Do I like snow? Can I ski or snowboard? I can ski. I'm not a great skier, but I can ski. I don't do a whole lot of it because I have bad knees. I've torn both my ACLs, which are ligaments in your knees. I've got them repaired subsequently. But yeah, I don't therefore take a lot of risks with like sports involving side-to-side motion. Let's go here. I'll try for this and then e5. It's much easier to go on the chessboard side to side. Pushing your A pawn, pushing your H pawn. That's what I try to stick to at the moment. Yeah, exactly, lawyer. I do like ski culture a lot. I like hanging out at chalets. And I'm going to get the classic fork here with e4. I'll hang out in the chalet with any of you guys. Drink hot cocoa and play chess. How'd I break my knees? I didn't break my knees. No one came and broke my knees. But I tore the ligaments, one of the ligaments. You have 3 ligaments in your knees: the ACL, the MCL, and the PCL. And I've torn the ACL playing basketball. That's how I did it, in both my left knee and my right knee. I tore the one in my right knee when I was 18. I ended up graduating high school on crutches. It was brutal. And I tore the one in my left knee also playing basketball when I was in law school. I think I was 23. This was back in 2009. Let's take here. So he saw what was going to happen, so he's deciding to take this one. All right, let's just go here. Now we're going to tidy up the position a little bit. Control D5. I think D5 is a square that white's going to use. Magnus is playing Ray? Really? Ooh, we might have to observe that for a moment. Morpheus is fighting Neo. Yeah, it really is. I would highly recommend avoiding tearing your ACL. It is an extremely painful injury. If you're an athlete, it's something you really don't want to happen. A lot of promising careers have been derailed because of that injury. And actually, my orthopedic doc, when I tore the first one, he said, yeah, if you continue playing sports with like a lot of side-to-side motion, like basketball, soccer, whatnot, even though I'm not a soccer player really, he's like, there's a good chance you'll tear the other one as well. There's something anatomical in my knee where he said that I have a greater likelihood than the average person to tear it. I think he described it, it's been many years now, but I think he described it as like basically the notch in your knee that houses those ligaments. Mine is like more narrow than most people, so it's like a tighter fit, so there's not as much give. So when those ligaments are moving in your knee as a result of the motion, especially like quick jarring motions, if you have a very tight kneecap in that sense, you may be more likely to tear it. That's my Cliff Notes version of what I think my doctor told me like 10 years ago. Again, I was 18 and I'm not at all licensed medically, so I could have also been making up some of that. Oh, nice, MRAP Bane. Hopefully you can play some tournaments around here if you just moved. Do I play basketball anymore? No, I don't. No, I stopped doing that after the injury. After the accident. Okay, I'm threatening checkmate. Let's go back here. Got to save the bishop now. I'm still up that piece, and my opponent has very little time on the clock. Odds you could take Magnus on a game of horse. You know, I think my shot is still pretty decent. I could get that back if I wanted to. So a game of horse, I like my chances against him. I've seen like clips of Magnus playing basketball. He looks a little awkward on the basketball court. He looks great on the soccer field. That's probably his strongest sport. He looks a little bit awkward with basketball, though, like his form. Yeah, thanks for the game campaign. So this is a typical pawn fork you got to watch out for. And I think right here, white should play bishop g3 instead of rook e1. Bishop g3, maybe bishop c2. You got to get these pieces out of the way. You could also play d5 here, by the way, just to show that you could advance this pawn so that when this is played, you can take en passant. En croissant. I think it's safe to say Magnus is better at chess than basketball. Yeah, I concur with that. No joke. Chess, hello to you, by the way. Yeah, Magnus is attending soccer matches, or has attended at least one soccer match. He posted on Twitter the other day. He must be taking some breaks from his training camp. All right. Destruyo tus tácticas. Okay, good luck. Destruyo. He's going to try to take down my tactical play. Good thing I'm a strategic player, so I will make sure not to get involved in too many tactics. Can you beat him at chess boxing? I would probably be an underdog to Magnus in chess boxing. He's probably got a little height and weight on me. I think he's like an inch or two taller than me. And most importantly, he has 2 functioning ACLs and is far better at chess. So I would have my work cut out for me. Destrio, are you there? Knock, knock. I don't think Destrio is there. We got to move on. We got to keep the train rolling here. Richter's neighbor, good luck. Hello, Richter's neighbor. Yeah, longtime viewer of my channel. All right, what shall we play? Let's play a Pierce. Where are my Pierce guys at? Or girls? Let's play who? Invitation to go into the Sicilian, but I'm not going to take it. I'll try to stay in Pierce territory. We'll play it like the standard Pierce. Okay, we'll go C6, maybe B5 if allowed. A lot of people play this setup looking for bishop H6, but it might be rushed if I get in knight takes E4. And if this, maybe I take here. Who knows? All right, I have a choice now. So if takes, it hits the queen. However, there is queen H6. How bad do I want this? Take? That looks really interesting. I'm super tempted to do that. I might get mated, though. This would be the safe way to play it for sure. But I really want to try this. I take here. I mean, I'm seeing some crazy stuff. Rook B1. Check. Take A2. Man, I don't know. I'm going to do it for the memes. I'm going to try. This might be bad, but we'll see. It's risky because if white gets this construction in with knight G5, I'm not so much worried about the rook. But if white does this with knight G5 and then bishop takes F6, that's how I could really get hurt. But it looks interesting. And I think I have some significant threats towards the queen side as well. Here, white must play queen H6. Even if it's bad, they got to do it. Exactly. You only live once. Okay. Yeah, so, my opponent didn't play the critical move, but we'll take a look at what I was thinking about afterwards. That happens a lot, by the way. You might sweat over a decision. You're like looking deep down the rabbit hole in a certain line. And a lot of times your opponent won't even go into that line. It's always kind of a letdown sometimes when that happens, actually. Let's give it a check. Play bishop A6. Hello, it's Nitrix. Thank you. I am using a Shure SM7B microphone. It's been good. I upgraded to this a few months ago. I like it. But it's a lot more complicated. I have to use an audio interface as well. I have a FET head on here too. We have seen a Scandi. Yeah. Google says John's net worth is $57 million. That's hilarious. All right, let's take. Chess just pays that well. What can I say? Oh, thank you, Pizza Racer. Yeah, I think I can tune this microphone even better. I'm still going to play around with it, see what I can do with it, because I think I can make it even better. But the default settings, I basically tuned it on the audio interface as well. Seems to be working okay. I'll try to play another Scandi or two, yeah. What is the other thing I have? There's an audio interface, and there's also... I can't remember the name of this other box. It's escaping my memory at the moment. Someone will probably know, though. Okay, let's take. Queen takes e7 is ever played, then this is crushing. Yeah, the preamp. Thank you, Strange Quirk. Yeah, I have an audio interface and a preamp. Okay, let's go here. Angling for d5, but also with the threat of knight d3. What do I think of the knight f3 line against the Scandi? Good variation. Yeah, definitely. I call that the underrated line in my Chessable course on the Scandi. Okay, let's be real solid here. Try to take the sting out of g6. Absolute solidity. Nice, Snakehead. Oh, yeah, Pizza Racer. That was the only thing that made me hesitant to get it, because I've heard about this mic for many years, how great it is. And indeed, it seems to be pretty awesome. But I don't know enough about the tech to really get into that. Fortunately, I've had a couple students who've helped me with that in the settings. So I pretty much just follow their advice. And I've watched some tutorials and whatnot. But yeah, it's a little on the expensive side for sure. Like that, this equipment is an investment. And it's one of those things, like I just know I'm probably understanding 1% of what all this equipment is capable of. But it works enough. And it was an improvement. All right. Thank you, Richter's Neighbor, for the game. So let's look at this line, shall we? So here, Richter's Neighbor on b4, you continued with bishop takes g7, and I played an in-between move. I mean, you could consider bishop takes g7 also an in-between move. Take on c3, hitting your queen. So I think you got to go queen h6 for better or for worse to defend the bishop. Otherwise, like the game, you just lose a piece for a pawn, straight up. Now here, I was thinking take like this. And I don't think you can go here and just allow me to take with check. I think that's going to get mated or... I don't know. We'll check that. But I was thinking rook b1... Maybe even rook d1 is possible, but check. And it just seemed to me that I had significant play here because of stuff like this, or maybe a timely knight takes e4. But then again, there's pressure here, and this knight g5 move is a potential thing. So let's just take a real quick look, see what the engine says. Yeah, queen h6, best move. It is giving an edge to black. Rook b1, queen a5, king d1. Okay, keeping the king safe. And queen takes a2 or knight d7. So queen takes a2 threatens this with check. Knight d7. Yeah, now it says play knight out. Yeah, with white having played knight d2, I think black's in a lot less immediate danger. There's no knight g5, but maybe just to illustrate what could happen. Like, say I just play... I don't know, let's just say I go bishop a6 or something. It doesn't work so well. There's bishop takes fa. Let's say knight bd7. Like maybe some construction like this could be dangerous in the future. Although I do have this backed up pretty nicely. But got to watch out for take and queen takes h7 if there's no backup. So thank you for the game, Richter's Neighbor. Maybe just got to be a little more careful about the pawn coming to b4. So playing like a3 here wouldn't be a bad idea. Or bishop d3 even. So you can reinforce this pawn. No Magnus playing coverage. Well, I'm doing Lichess plays. Let me just quickly confirm if he's actually playing right now. Yeah. He's playing Spicy Caterpillar, Ray Robson. So, hey, if you want, you can leave this stream up and put this up too. You can watch this as well. But I'm going to keep playing viewers. This is what we're here for. A lot of you have waited a long time, so cool that there's a lot of action going on Lichess today. The world champ, just weeks away from his title defense against Jan Nepomniachtchi, just playing some bullet on a Sunday. Okay, a deadly. There we go. All right. You guys have been asking for Scandi. I will comply. And maybe I'll play a knight f6 version of it, huh? Let's try for a gambit line. Just comment on Magnus games. We will watch it too. I'm sure you would. But, I don't want to do Lichess like that. This is Lichess plays, and I don't want to deviate from the course of our goal here. And again, a lot of you are eager to play. There might be a streamer or two who's casting the action right now. I did that when Magnus played Danya a couple weeks ago. It was awesome. It was such a fun match to follow. Okay. Deadly has been floored by knight takes d5. They are petrified by this knight. Is it going to jump into f4? Is it going to go to b4? Might it even stay on d5? Okay, they play bishop c4. Is that on YouTube? Yes, it is. Yep. Yeah, you can find that on my channel. It's the most recent video I posted. All right, all right. I don't think I can make much of this pin at the moment. Very tempted to play e5 here. Feel like that could turn out poorly. So let's go queen d6. I'm going to try to castle next. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Chess Network's coverage of the World Championship should be excellent. I'm sure you guys will be spoiled for coverage of the upcoming World Championship. I bet, the real top YouTube guys, Agad Mator, Levy, I'm sure they will cover every game. Probably their recaps will be up right after they're played or shortly thereafter. Maybe guys like Danya will do it as well. Yeah, the OGs like Chess Network would definitely see them doing it. Is this okay to play? Take. Get some mass trades. I don't know about that. I don't know if I want that many simplifications. Let's just play e6 for now. I know, right? Nature, it's awesome. A smorgasbord of possible streamers and coverage to follow. I'm just going to develop here. Yeah, that's funny, Drezinho. I actually usually don't like castling queenside in these positions. I prefer to castle the other direction if possible. Okay, b5. That's the idea. And, that has some merit for sure. Because my pieces can get swept away in the center. Let's go knight f4. Let's see where white puts that queen. Hello, Zava. Games have been going okay today, yeah. I assume that's what you mean. I have not literally run outside today, although it's very nice. It's like 60 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I think that's what would that be? That would be around like 15, maybe 16 Celsius. So it's pretty nice for our standards this time of year. Oh, you did mean jogging. Okay. Yeah, I have not been outside, but I might try to get a run in a little bit later. Not a whole lot of daylight though. Okay, let's take. I think we got to take. I think we got to go down this rabbit hole. Maybe I should have taken there. Yeah, I think we're just looking at a big swap at this point. Does he want this one or this one? Only time will tell. Let's take here. Then if he takes on c6, I'll come back with the bishop. Thank you, Dave Bees. Yeah, this is actually really good running weather right now. Perfect. I really like this milder weather too. I don't like it when it gets too hot. I don't know that I could live in like a desert climate, for instance. It's just a little too much for me. Because when you're in the desert, the evenings are awesome, but it's just brutal during the day. The mornings and the evenings tend to be great, but just hard to justify doing a whole lot outside during the day. Check and we'll get this pawn. Are you serious, Drazinho? I didn't know that. That's pretty rough. I don't doubt it, though. It's getting to be that time of year where we could get snow at any point. Okay, thank you, Deadly, for the game. This was tricky. Let's just see what the Oracle says real quick. And by the way, for improvement, I do not recommend just going on and immediately clicking on the engine. I really only do this because of convenience and because of streaming. If I were actually trying to learn from these games, especially longer games, ideally you should go in and try to have your own conclusions and maybe write down a few notes, put it in like a Lichess study before you turn on the engine. So I do want to emphasize that. Engine hates bishop e7. It says b5 is good here. Okay. b5, drive the knight away, and then knight e5. Ah, yeah. I was always wondering about that move if it could cause problems. And also it guards d7, so bishop a3 might be a thing. So you might have had a little bit of a chance there. Okay. But thank you for the game, Deadly. Yeah, you played all right. You did kind of an unusual plan, but it actually worked out all right. Probably just used a little bit too much time to get there, though. Yeah, I agree, Parker Chess, for sure. That was a nice game. Raffia Gambit, good luck. I would like to get into swimming, actually. I don't have access to like a pool year-round. Let's play a Sicilian. We'll go with one of the main ones. In the summer, I can use the pool. There's a pool in my building. I'm in an apartment building. It has one. But I don't have a gym membership anymore because my apartment building has a gym here. But I'm almost thinking about getting one because I'd like to start swimming more regularly. Yeah, exactly. Six Simon. Yeah. I'm working with some good hardware here. Yep, there are Lifetime Fitnesses around. Absolutely. Let's go after this pawn. Let's see what Raffia Gambit does. Raffia Gambit took on c6. Generally not the best idea in the Sicilian from White's perspective if Black's able to capture towards the center. There are some lines where maybe it can be okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Rook and roll. Yeah, enjoy. I am in that course, as you probably know. I got to record 2 courses with Magnus. Well, Raffia is daring me to take. I'm going to take them up on that. Yeah, 1 course was on strategy, and 1 course was on end games based on Magnus's games. Such a cool experience. We recorded that in late February of 2020, right before the pandemic. And I was in Norway for like a week and a half, maybe almost 2 weeks. Little trap here. If White goes king f2, what am I going to play? Ooh, White avoided it. I was going to play. Strange Cork found it, as did K Buckby. Queen takes c3. If you can visualize that. Queen takes c3. Lure White into the fork there. Oh, and Raffia Gambit resigned before I could play another move. I was going to play knight takes e4 here, but maybe Raffia Gambit's watching and is like, all right, dude, if you're going to make little lessons out of the game, I give up. I'm done here. Now, of course, this is all for fun. But yeah, got to be careful, Raffia. I think on queen b6, probably you should do something like rook b1 and guard the b2 pawn. But it's a little uncomfortable for White already. Is Wesley so my neighbor? Cold River says they live in the same house. Wesley lives like probably 20 minutes away, maybe a little bit longer from where I'm currently at. So he's nearby. Yeah. I've never been over to his place, but I know like what city he's in. So yeah, I see him around at like chess tournaments. He'll come around to Minnesota tournaments every once in a while. No, 20-minute drive. I should put that in perspective. Again, because I'm American. When I say like 10 minutes away, 20 we're always talking about driving time. But this is an international audience, so I'm glad we're clarifying that stuff. You and Wesley should hang out, become best buddies. I don't want to mess up his chances on the world stage. Not that I would be a bad influence on him, but he seems to be doing just fine what he's currently doing. He's a nice guy though. But yeah, we don't socialize. Yeah, actually one reason I like living around here is I don't really need a car day to day. I will usually drive like maybe once per day for something. But I'm not having to jump into my car constantly to go places around here. When I lived in the suburbs, car was almost mandatory though. And even here, I pretty much need one. Like I can't easily like go to a grocery store, let's say, without a car. Okay, let's go here. Our knights are dueling. I'm gonna attack B2. Once per day to grab bet. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I gotta get out of the house. Grab my bagel. Hello, YouTube, by the way. I haven't looked at the YouTube chat. I assure you I have not forgotten about you guys, though. Thank you, Azteca Chess, by the way, for your kind words. Let's take here, and then I'm going to go B4. You guys know what this is? This is the minority attack. I'm using fewer pawns to attack a majority. It is a classic concept in these structures. The goal is to leave white with a bad pawn, like white's going to have on C3. And now, let's try to pressure this further. Long term, I want to win this pawn, and then I want to win D4. We want it all. Hi, John. Do you still drink coffee? Drinking it right now, Y. Fletchman. So, yes, indeed. That said, I have scaled back a little bit on my daily intake. So it's at slightly more manageable levels. But I still probably have, I don't even know how many cups, to be fair to say. I probably have like 500 to 600 milligrams of caffeine a day. It's still on the high side for sure. I think the recommended dosage, like most of the mainstream recommendations, are more like 400 as a top level. But yeah, I'm in like the 600 range. And I feel pretty good. I don't have any like adverse effects. I sleep okay. I actually sleep a lot better now than I was, say, like a year ago. But it's still a little bit high, admittedly. Okay, knight b3 is a good move. That's kind of an annoying move. I got to be a little bit careful here. Opponent offers draw. I cannot take that Sven. Let's go here. I'm just trying to control the knight hopping. I don't want it to go to c5. Now, I think this is the piece I got to improve. I must consider how to improve its chances. I'm going to go here. I'm thinking white's going to go up here to try to free their knight. All right, white puts a stop to that. Now, do I do some convoluted maneuver like this? I think now I'm going to go behind. I'm going to step over here, and if white wants to get out of the pin, we're looking at a knight trade. Yep. Or a rook trade, I should say. Some drawing chances for white here. But I'm going to press. I am up a pawn. Let's see what happens. Be patient. We'll bring the king over now. Up a little bit on the clock. This might be a draw with best play, but we're going to make white work for it. Hey, Niall, good to see you in the chat. Hello to H. Taft, by the way, on YouTube. And a gay hello. Thank you all for tuning in. These endgames are tough. Yeah, the knight endgames, very tricky. Tricky business for sure. Now, g5 would be a big blunder. I am letting this knight out a little bit, but that's okay. I think the knight could have got out anyways. Tempted to go here and repeat, but I don't know. Let's go up with the king. Maybe e5 someday. It's not working yet. But just make white make moves, basically. But admittedly, I got to watch the potential creation of a passed pawn on the outside. Let's do this. And then I'm going to go here. Ooh, did white get their knight trapped behind enemy lines? Still going to escape. Kind of. But I can go here now. Tricky business. Oh, finally. Finally, I win. But that was not easy at all. Not one bit. Okay, Sven, thanks for the game. That was tough. Yeah, you know, this endgame might be a draw. Again, it's... Ooh, this is actually a significant mistake on my part. The engine's saying I should play g5 right away so my king can come up here more easily. With the move I played, evidently you can give a check and then go right back and say, how are you going to defend the f7 pawn? So I have a feeling I kind of misplayed this part of the game. In theory, I'd like to keep the rooks on board, even though I was eager to make the rook trade happen. Maybe I was a little too worried about knight c5 coming in. But you put up great defense, Sven. Like, good stuff. Because those middle games you're in, not easy when white has this disadvantage. But, broadly, this is a plan that you guys should all be aware of. The minority attack plan. That's how you can look to assault a structure like this. This looks real solid for white, right? And black actually has fewer pawns. That's how it gets its name. Black has fewer pawns on this wing, but by going b5, a5, looking for b4, black is trying to puncture the white structure and create a weakness. That's the whole goal. Thanks for the game. All right, Dave Bees. Hello, Dave Bees. Good luck. I saw you in the chat. All right, what am I going to play here? Let's play knight f3. I'm feeling like an Evans Gambit. Let's see if we get a chance for it. Or knight f6 played. Okay. Well, let's see what Dave knows in the main line. I will test my knowledge here. Okay. All right. All theoretical stuff. Now, I believe bishop d3 is like the trendy move these days. I can't claim to be too knowledgeable about this, but let's see what happens. You're about to suggest this, K-Buckby? The Evans or... Ooh, aggressive move here. I can't play c3. I'm going to run into problems. However, I do think that queen is going to get pushed back at some point. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play this real simple. I'm going to go trade and then bishop back, and then I'm going to go d3, knight c3, bishop e3. That's the plan. Black gets a temporary burst of development, to be fair. But I think once I coordinate, now it's looking like black has little compensation for the pawn, I would say. Remember, black is down a pawn in this line. Yeah, these challenges are accepted randomly. That's right. You send a challenge, you're in the pool of players. I literally have a button that says accept random challenge. It's great. All right, let's go here. Yeah, there are a lot of challenges, over 50. It caps out at 50 as far as what I see, but I'm pretty sure that means there's potentially more, significantly more maybe. I've seen upwards of 100 challenges at a time with this Lichess plays. There's a lot of support. Ooh, I think I actually blundered this. Inattentive on my part. Yeah, knight takes e4 was good there because if takes, it was also on my bishop. So significant mistake by me. Oh, now I win a piece, right? Or an exchange, maybe. Maybe a piece. Let's take. Knight takes e4 would have completely turned the tables. Thanks again, Brett, on YouTube, by the way. Thank you, Brian. Very kind. Brian said, your chess commentary is the best I've heard. Hoping you do more. Thanks. Thank you very much. Zachary says, had no idea how improved the Lichess analysis board was. Yeah, make use of the analysis features on Lichess. They're awesome. The study feature in particular, I think, is still one of the most underrated features on the web. Lichess.org/study. And put it in the chat on both. Amazing feature. You can aggregate your games. You can create like an online running diary of your games. And you can also study other people's studies, studyception, and learn anything about, a given opening, end game, tournament coverage. Those are covered in studies as well. It's really, really slick. If you're a teacher, definitely make use of the Lichess study tool. Study-based opening tree. Yeah, a lot of people do make studies for given lines. You go to a tournament and then put all your games in a study. That's right, Parker Chess. Yeah, that's what I have a lot of my students do. And I got to hurry up a little bit here. I'm going to take with the bishop, actually. But yeah, I have a lot of my students, if they play like serious online games or tournaments, I'll have them put them in a study, add me as a contributor, and it's great. Like sometimes they're even updating the study like during the course of the tournament, and I'm able to easily follow along. I can add in my notes too if I want to give them any feedback. It works out really, really well. Okay, just got to make sure I get the job done here with my 22 seconds. Advance. Here come the pawns. Black is cut off here too. The king can't really enter the game. No one has got me for a win or a draw today. It did happen last stream, though. I was defeated last stream. But a good player outplay me. But hey, you guys still have about 15, 20 minutes. And this will be checkmate. Okay, thank you, Dave, for the game. So we could maybe use the database here. I think probably around about here would be good to look up in the database. This is still some mainline theory. When I was a kid, I was taught that bishop e2 was the move here. But nowadays, they seem to play bishop d3 a lot more, too. It's kind of awkward for white either way, and your minor pieces are going to get chased around. But that's the price you pay for the extra pawn. Yeah, thanks for the game, Dave. So, yeah, I think I remember knight d5. Yeah, knight d5 is a thing, isn't it? You can maybe even do it after h6 as you played, Dave. Yeah, I do think the knight should go there, which frees up the f-pawn, also creates some potential issues with the knight coming to f4. So I might want to look into that a little bit more. Okay. We go from Dave to Mike. Hello to Hey Mike. Good luck. Yeah, if I were to look into a line against that particular variation of the two knights, I think it would be that one. I think in theory, white should be doing pretty well once they can calm the position down. But I'd be curious what the modern engines say. Mike, are you there? There we go. All right, I barely had to knock. Let's play g6. Yeah, a lot of Londons. A lot of Londons these days. Just a super popular opening, right? Let's go c5. If white puts the pawn on c4 instead of c3, I think it's favorable to try to open this diagonal. Oh, thank you, Aaron. Awesome. We got a viewer from Australia. Very kind message. Says, I watch every stream after they are posted. Glad to finally make the stream from Australia. Yeah, shout out to all the viewers around the world. It's really cool to see how much interest there is in chess overall and how much interest these streams get. My knight's a little misplaced here. I wish it were on c6. Ooh, don't want to take with the knight, though, Mike. Yeah, you should take with the pawn. Now you walk into this fork. If you take with the pawn, I like your position a little bit better. Yeah, I do like g6 cheeseburgers. Absolutely. It's it can be a transpositional move. I don't think it's a great classical weapon, honestly. G6 is a little bit sketchy for black in some lines. But for blitz and rapid, I think it's a pretty good approach, especially if you're already somewhat experienced player. Like that Gingy Indian, I love playing that line. It is so much fun. It's one of my favorite openings. I have played it in classical before, but I just like the fact that it defies normal opening conventions, like giving up your fianchettoed bishop on the fourth move. And that's spelled like this, by the way. Gingy Indian. I haven't had a Gingy Indian game today, but I played it a fair amount in these streams. It's named after Roman Gingy-Hashvili. He's a grandmaster. Hey, GM Shadow, thank you for cheering from New Zealand. That's a country I really want to visit someday. No, not the Ginger Indian. It's not a Simon Williams opening. Although he'd probably be pretty good at it. He's probably played it before. Now, knight g5 is going to run into queen takes g5. I just mentioned that because maybe Mike's seeing the lines towards here and might want to be aggressive. Ooh, this runs into a fork. Poor Mike. Yeah, thanks for the game, Mike. Appreciate it. Yeah, just got to take with the pawn there on d4. If you take with the pawn, I think you're in decent shape because you got control of that square. Your development's great. That was pretty much the game right there, taking with the knight instead of the pawn here. Yeah, engine's giving you a slight edge. Thanks for the game. All right. Let's see. We might get like one or two more regular games in, and then it's Bomb Cloud time. H-Bomb. Is this Hikaru's alt? Oh, it even says US. I played H-Bomb before. Hikaru's nickname is H-Bomb, so I wonder if this is actually his Anon account that he's not allowed to stream on chess.com due to contractual obligations, being a partner streamer for chess.com. What do you guys think are the chances? He's rolling with his 1800 ratings here. It'd be funny if he like dropped something in the chat. Like only Hikaru would say. Like, chat, it's not me, chat. Okay. This is a pretty bland variation. I'll try to keep a little bit of spice, though. I'll play bishop e7. Bishop d6 would be a good way to neutralize the dark square bishop, but I'll try to keep this a little more dynamic. Oh, I'm sorry, Sugar. Yeah, hopefully you've still enjoyed the stream. We'll get another game in here in a second, but yeah, once again, if you didn't get a game in today, I am doing this on a weekly basis, thanks to Lichess, and there will be other opportunities for sure. And I'm doing it on my personal channel. Oh, yeah, that's right, Frody. Yeah, he did stream on Lichess actually for a few games, didn't he, recently? I think chess.com was down at that time. Okay, I'm going to try to get the knight in, attack this pawn. Now this is looking good. I feel like these are weaknesses that White's going to have issues with. Tempted to do this. Take. Open up the position a little bit. But my knight is so good. I don't think I have to rush anything like that. Yeah, white's minor pieces are pretty passive here. So let's just build the threats. Let's threaten knight takes b2. Hello, Daniel. Says, hey, John, any film or TV recommendations that you've enjoyed recently? I haven't watched anything new. No. I watched a little bit of Squid Game. Actually, I watched the entirety of Squid Game. What am I saying? But I watched it over a period of like 2 weeks with my parents when I was visiting them. I'd go visit them like every few days and we'd watch an episode. So that was pretty good. I'm sure a lot of you have seen Squid Game at this point. What did I watch? I watched Dead Poets Society with Robin Williams recently. I'd seen it in the past. It's such a great movie. And it's actually the reason I watched it, it popped up on my YouTube recommendations. It's one of the free movies on YouTube. That's a fantastic movie. So I would recommend that to pretty much everyone. What a talented actor he was. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. Like really, really talented guy. I'm going to take, looks a little bit risky because maybe queen b1, but I can take this knight on c3. And I'm not going to overreact to this. What's going on? Hello, Slim Couple, by the way, on YouTube. Thank you very much. Says, I'm your biggest fan. I even watched your underground match you played with Jan. Wow, that's a long time ago. You've been watching a long time, Slim. Yeah, that was many, many moons ago. So thank you very much for following for so long. All right, I'm liking my position here a lot. I don't know how much I have to worry about f6. Probably not very much. Kind of tempted to take here, but you know what? Let's just strive for further activity. I'm going to threaten this. John, who is your first follower? Good question. I'm actually not sure. I'd have to really go back and look. I don't know if I can even check that anymore. Is rook b1 spooky? Looks a little spooky, but I can take on a3. So I think that'll handle it. Now I might take here. So white's put the rook defensively. I'm going to take and threaten the other rook. So now if rook b1, that'll take white's eye off of the knight. Then I might play knight takes e3 or bishop takes e3. One of the two. Thank you, a youthful porpoise. Yeah, I got to put in my food order. Oh, and this drops off with check. It opened up 2 attacks. Well, there's already 1 attack that existed. H-bomb, thank you for the game. You know, this is a pretty equal variation. I think around here, though, you want to take some measures against this plan. I think f4 is an overreach. I think after f4 in particular, you might be struggling. Yeah, Engine already likes black a little bit. I think it kind of boils down to the knight activity here. My knight's headed for a good square where it's going to pressure things, and your knight's actually not doing a whole lot here. So probably right around here, got to be somewhat careful. The Engine's even suggesting knight b1 here. Interesting, to try to come to this square. I think that's how much it believes your knight is misplaced or how much you want to control the c4 square. Oh, yeah, let me put it in that order. I think it might be time for the Bon Cloud Horsey game. You know what? Before we do that, let's just check in. I'm curious if Magnus is still playing. Oh, yeah. What's the match like here? 6-3. Wow. Spicy Caterpillar, which is the American Grandmaster, Ray Robson. Fantastic player. You know, high 2600s FIDE in classical. Very good blitz and bullet player as well. So he's holding his own. Oh, this is a 3-minute match. Okay, interesting. So they're playing some longer games. So I'm going to watch that a little bit afterwards once I pick up my food. But you know what time it is? Look away if you don't like it. But it's tradition. We must follow tradition. Should I play with the 3D board? Is this possible to play with 3D? Oh, no. I can't do... Yeah, that makes sense. 3D only works with certain sets. They have their own 3D sets, really. 3D defeats the Horsey set. That's rough. All right, back to 2D we go. Okay, who's going to be the recipient of the Bong Cloud here? Bloodbath McWrath. We played one time before. Trying to remember this game. Bloodbath, are you there? Don't remember that game in question. All right, we got to do it. I'm going to gambit the pawn on e5. White can take it. Sometimes they don't take pawns like that, but we got to do it. Sorry, I'm trying to put my food order in too at the moment. All right, let's go d6. Let's kick the knight away. Always just on a little bit of a tight schedule when I do these streams. So I tend to play my final games, put it in a food order, and go pick it up afterwards. All right, now we're good. All right. Let's go g6. White's being pretty solid here. I might just need to castle by hand. White didn't attack me in the center. It's castle by hand time. I'll try to spice it up still. Playing the same opening as someone did against Vichy. That's right. That game is infamous. The Nikhil, was it Chamath, I think is his name? Nikhil Chamath Gambit. All right, don't get mated here. That would really ruin my position, getting mated. Let's go here. Maybe I want to play d5, actually. d5 is probably a better move. Yeah, we're going to block the queen. Block the access to the f7 point. Queen a3. Can sidestep over here. Whoa, g4. What is that move about? Is white trying to deflect my knight from guarding here? You know what? I think that's okay by me because I'm going to be hitting the knight here. If knight takes h7, king g8, then that knight is trapped. Speak softly says my eyes are bleed. Yeah, if only white could hop over the pawn. John, have you ever shouted out of anger in your life? That's a funny question. Yes, I have. I just have not done it on stream. Okay, e4. I think that's a good move. I think e4 is actually a pretty nice little resource. I probably should still take this, though. Nice, Calder. Okay, if I take... Now, I'd like to go after this, but I got to be a little cautious how I go about doing that. Like queen f4. Maybe I'll go queen f4. Queen f4, knight f3, queen takes on f5. Throw to mate. This is the only way for white to cover that. So Bloodbath is in a must-find knight f3 position. Very good. And now I'm going to take. And my point of doing this first, as opposed to taking right away, is I want to block the bishop from linking up with the white queen. This should be the FIDE standard piece set used. Yeah, they should use this in the World Championship. How to tank your viewership for the biggest chess event every 2 years. Just use the horsey set. Maybe this will be the tie breaks, and they'll be so terrified of going into the tie breaks that it will be decided it'll be an absolute bloodbath in the classical portion because they don't want to use the horsey set. What if in the tiebreak the set just progressively gets more and more cringy? Like, you know, they could maybe start out by this might be the final boss set, or, you know, a classic one as well as this one. What if they were to use this set, OTV, or even this one as well? Could you imagine? Oh, I gotta hurry up. I have 25 seconds left. The Baja set, yeah. The one with the screws is actually pretty cool when you realize that it shows how the pieces move. The piece shape indicates the piece movement. Somehow this looks like a totally normal position where black's up a pawn. No one would have been the wiser that I played e5, king e7. I'm thinking about trying to trap this bishop, maybe. Maybe g5. Okay, we get a swap. We get a trade. Carlsen is playing with Horsey in his current match. You think so? Maybe he is. You never know. Just max difficulty against Ray Robson. Yeah. I need to be fast here. Need to be quick and swift. I'm up 2 pawns. Oh, I won. Good, close game, though, Bloodbath. Yes. Thank you. Yup. Yeah, you kind of hung back a little bit. I know, right? Yeah, that's not easy to do. I give everyone credit who agrees to challenge, who wants to challenge on these streams. Because it's not easy playing against a crowd, playing against an IM. So yeah, you held your own. I wonder even if you had a tactic in the end game. You had a little bit of pressure with those bishops. I had to make sure I was covering. I played king f8. You have some pressure down the file. I was really just kind of worried about your dark square bishop popping in somewhere. Looks like maybe black had this under control, but pretty good effort. But attack me more aggressively next time when I play the Bon Cloud Horsey. Okay. Yeah, so thanks everyone for tuning in today. Really appreciate Enrico says John laughs in anger. I actually do. I actually do sometimes when I'm playing online. That's my coping mechanism if I make a mistake. I just laugh about it. All right. So this was really a lot of fun. I look forward to this every week. I'll see you guys next Sunday, more than likely. And yeah, I mean, maybe Magnus is still streaming or playing, rather. Someone said he's offline now. It still looks like he's online. That's so cool that he just takes time out of his world championship preparation just to play a little blitz match. Ray held his own. Looks like it was 10 games, 7-3. So, yeah, congrats to Ray taking a few games off the world champion when he's probably peaking form-wise. But always just so cool that we're in a day and age where we get to see these guys play live and sometimes at random, totally unpredictable times. All right, I'm off. Thanks again to the Lichess mods. Appreciate it. No Joke and Numeroid. Thanks, everyone, for watching. K Buckby, I'll see you soon for our 10th game. You all have a good rest of your Sunday. We'll see you later. We're rating Murcia Talut.